Good morning once again. We are here at the, or I am here at the Enders Game on Blu-ray tournament presented by MLG and Game On. Steven had to run for a little bit, but he'll be back in a couple hours. So I think I'll be solo casting for the first couple matches. I hope you don't mind that too much. I kind of do. Okay. First off, we're gonna start the group of today with Scarlet against Major. What a match. Well, shit. Yeah. It's gonna be Scarlet against Major. Should be pretty good, obviously. Two of the best players going up against each other. Scarlet, they met in the finals of the last tournament. Scarlet managed to beat Major 4-0 in that particular match. We'll see if Major can do better here. I think that he probably most definitely can. So we'll have to wait and find out. They're doing vetos right now. That's what we're waiting for. And as soon as they're finished with that, should be able to jump right into the game. We are now getting the invite into the game. The first map is going to be Habitation Station. Everyone else at the house is sleeping currently, so it is pretty much the middle of the night in the Pacific coast, so we are solo casting until someone wakes up, someone willing to co-cast with me until Destiny gets back. Rob from production unfortunately has to do production, so he can't really jump in here to help. In case anyone was wondering, players are ready to start. The map is Habitation Station Ladder Edition. Game Heart is what we're using. Yeah. And again, a map made legendary by Scarlett in her series against Bomber, where she managed to take the series 2-1. I think. I don't know if it was 2-1, but it was the last map. The last match was on this map, and she had some bailing bombs that blew shit up, defeating Bomber ultimately, and showing how powerful she really is. In the top right hand position of the map, as the purple Zerg, we're gonna have from Team Acer, Scarlet. Acer Esports, aceresport.com, Acer Esport. It sounds really weird, but follow them anyway. And on the left hand side of the map, spawning as the blue Terran, it's Juanito, also known as Major, currently teamless, also known as Windy today. Some other days he has other names. And he is the best Mexican player to have ever existed in the world of StarCraft. I think that's pretty accurate to say. Yeah. If Mexico was the only country to have ever played StarCraft, Juan would be indisputably the best StarCraft player to have ever lived or walked the earth. So, we have a barracks opener. We expect to see a gas, and there it goes. Wow, so smart. And from Scarlet, we're probably gonna see a hatch first. If everything is to be pretty normal. Scarlet being actually pretty diligent with her scouting here. Scouting semi-early and scouting for proxies around her base with this drone as well. So she is taking no risk. And she's gonna go inside of Major space. She's gonna see the gas and probably get out. Get out. Okay, well, if she doesn't get out soon enough, then Major has the option to trap the drone inside potentially. This is actually pretty annoying. Oh my god, she gonna get it. Nope. Yeah. Oh! Oh! Ladrone James. Is he will now get repaired. And will she get the drone trapped? Nope. Scarlet too good. Reaper in production now. Drone is gonna go back to her base now. Standard. And not much else going on right now. The Reaper is about to pop out. Major is one of those people that when I say one of those people, I don't mean like any racial stuff. I'm very Hispanic. But he's one of those people that makes only one Reaper. But today he's making two actually. So switching it up against Scarlet. Scarlet is one of those people who always studies her opponents and knows what to expect going into a series. And they are both very good friends, of course. So Major might be semi-metagaming Scarlet. And Scarlet not taking a gas. Major also could make more than a couple Reapers this game because Scarlet never takes a gas. Major getting a drone kill is already pretty good for this one Reaper. If there's a map, we talked about this yesterday, if there's a map that you want to make less than 2 Reapers on, it would be this one because there's no jumping into the main without jumping into the natural first. But Major don't give no shit. He's gonna go ahead and break every rule of everything because he's like, oh, then this is the worst map I could do it on. I always do one Reaper. So I'm gonna do 3 Reapers here even. 2 Reapers, I guess. I thought I saw something crossing the map. Oh, there is a 3rd Reaper actually. It just stayed back in case Scarlet tried to deny Major's command center, which she did not. Now this kind of play could be really powerful against Scarlet, I feel like, meaning Mass Reaper and whatnot, because she always plays gasless against Reaper, and that can be pretty dangerous. But I don't know how many Terrans know that, or if it's necessarily true. Maybe I just suck against it. We have a tech lab going down in the barracks. We have a starport being created as well, and a couple Hellions. So this has been a pretty standard transition to everything from here. Sure, Major is like 20 supply behind, but that is not a tell of much of anything. Scarlet went gasless. She's been making drones. And Major now will have double meal production and start catching back up in supply by a little bit. We have the Hellions moving out with a couple of Reapers that we were talking about before. Creep Tumor goes down. Major not gonna be able to get inside or scout anything at all. And we have a Banshee with Cloak actually on the way on the production tab, so that's pretty cool by Major. Scarlet choosing to upgrade before getting the lair, I believe. So that is gonna be kind of dangerous. That's gonna delay her lair by quite a bit, especially considering that she already went gasless opener. So not really. I'm not sure if Scarlet scouted. Let me check her vision real quick. So Scarlet does not know that there's a Banshee on the way. Much less with Cloak. I think if Scarlet scouts with the Overlord, as she probably would most games, and sees that there's, you know, a Banshee on the way or a starport with the tech lab, then she might have chosen to get the lair a little bit faster. She won't be ready for this, I don't think. Yeah, unfortunately for her, she doesn't have any. Now she's making the spore crawlers, but she didn't have any, and the Banshee will have cloaks. So this Banshee, which Rob from production is not currently looking at, for the first time ever you have failed being robbed, is doing a little bit of damage. Oh, she's going for the queens. This is kind of a risk, or Major's going for the queens. This is kind of a risky move, but it paid off. All the queens gone. This is pretty much game over, I think. Oh, there is 20 links in production, but like the damage that Scarlet's gonna take is out of this world ridiculous. Normally you use the Banshee to pick off some drones. That's a safe way to go at it. But in this particular case, Major went for the queens and got them all. Scarlet will have her 1-1 finished, and somehow, some way, she has held for now. This second Banshee could do a little bit more damage. Scarlet very smartly dropping 2 Banshees, but even then, there are going to be positions in this middle line where Major can position the Banshee to be super annoying. And just losing 3 or 4 queens that Scarlet lost, that's really painful. That limits her larva for quite a bit now. Major going into mech. This time around, Scarlet will scout everything. And she'll be like, what? Mech? Okay. And she already has a Spire on the way. She's dropping an Infestation Pit, so we're gonna see probably a Muta into Swarmhost transition. Very common recently in Korea. And it should probably be common everywhere. It seems really strong against the mechs. So we will see. Couple of Thors in production as well. Now Scarlet checking the gold a little bit late. That has been running for quite a bit. That Major took the gold that is 3rd there. And by the way, yesterday he said he didn't take the gold because it's less income, it's the same income with less workers, which didn't make any sense. And today actually taking the gold. Was the GSL on yesterday? Rob from production? Was Pro League on yesterday? Rob from production? IEM? Oh, so maybe Major saw someone in IEM do this. Who Innovation played, right? Do you think he played Habitation Station? Okay, if Innovation played on Habitation Station and he took the gold, that's probably why we see Major taking the gold here. Anyway, he is gonna back into the gold with those Hellions. And Major a little bit ahead in supply, not what you want to face as a Zerg player when the turn player is going mech. But Swarmhosts on this map are going to be pretty powerful. Having said that, mech can be pretty powerful, especially if he decides to crawl towards that 3rd. But Scarlet's doing a great job with her Muta here so far. The Banshees could help out a lot, actually. Still 2 Vikings at a time in production. That's going to help out a lot. It's going to give Major some mobility, and basically the Vikings can sit close to missile turrets or Thors and outrange the Muta and kind of tell them to get out. And yeah, Scarlet not quite yet burrowing her Stormhosts. I'm not sure if she doesn't want to reveal them until she has a decent number. She has them selected right now, so clearly that's the case. No, is that you, Rob from production? You have them selected. Okay, well, she doesn't then. So yeah, still making a bunch more Storm Hosts, and again probably just doesn't want to reveal them until, you know, she doesn't want to show the Locusts if the Locusts are not going to do anything. She basically wants the Locusts to show up and be like, oh wow, what? So we need to wait and see. Lots of Vikings. I really like this response by Major, actually. Vikings will get wrecked against mutant straight up fights, but they should never take straight up fights. If Major fights behind Thor support, oh wow, goodbye Thor. Good night, sweet prince. This is not gonna work at all by Major. Pushing into Locusts without enough tanks to kind of neutralize them, it's probably gonna be a bad idea. The Banshee though, trying to make to do work, but no Banshees left now, and one queen remains to pretty much save all the Locusts from dying. So good job by Major identifying that he could take the Mutas in a head-on fight. Just he had that many more Vikings, but yeah, unfortunately for him, he didn't have anything else to break down the Storm Host there. So now Major's in an uncomfortable position. He is oh, no cancel on that. Sloppy Juanito. And he needs more tanks. The tanks are still taking shots, are still dying in the front line. And again, Scarlet did a really good job of waiting until she had enough Storm Hosts that Major wasn't able to react and switch. Now we see 3 tanks in production at a time, but Major is pretty much losing 3 times every wave. Okay, not anymore because the Hellbats are here to tank some damage, but you know what I meant. And yeah, the Stormhosts are still creeping forward, doing a lot of damage. Scarlet now taken to a hive, still upgrading on Double Spire. Okay. Finally not taking more than 1 or 2 shots there, Major was. So a little bit more stable on the defense, but we'll see what he's able to do from here. He needs Tank's Siege to neutralize the Stormhost completely, and then that's when the Muta become the problem, because if Scarlet continues to make Muta, those guys are pretty annoying to deal with. The Banshee coming here. You can't shoot air, Banshee. You ain't not able to shoot air, so she's gonna have to back. The armory will go down. If you're wondering, you never really need to cancel upgrades if they're dying. I mean, unless you want the money a little bit quicker, because they'll auto cancel themselves when the structure dies. So Major didn't actually lose anything there, except for all those Vikings, of course. And Hellbats trying to do what they do best, which is to kill Zerglings, of course. Wave after wave of Locusts being sent out by Scarlet here. Those guys are pretty quick on creep. The Locusts, I mean. And Major's still taking damage, so at this point, I don't know what he can do. I mean, he's still advancing in the supply count, which is nice. But 3 Thors at a time, I'm not sure what you want with those 3 Thors, because the tanks are not able to stalemate the Locusts so far. So he really needs a few more tanks. He's making more Vikings, again, that's nice, but we're towards the late game, and you're never going to be able to push forward, I don't think, without Ravens. He's doing the best that he can with the Hellbats, however, and yeah, this is going to be a little bit annoying for Scarlet, but not that annoying, really. Just a little bit. So many Zerglings. Scarlet getting 3 attack for her Muta, 3 attack for the Locusts, and 2 Carapace for air. Well, Major is just now getting Blue Flame Hellions, so he's not in a good position right now. He's gonna continue to lose units until he can push out. Even if he was maxed, he wouldn't be maxed on the army that he wants. He would be maxed on the army that he has been forced into for the time being. I was gonna say the one that he needs, but obviously if it's not the one that he wants, it's not the one that he needs. It's not how StarCraft works, I don't think. Or I guess it kinda can be. I'm not sure anymore. Yeah, it could definitely be the army that you need, another one that you want. Like if you, yeah. This is probably the Scarlet, the army that Scarlet wants, but not the army she... No. This is probably the army she needs, but not the one she wants. Because I know for a fact Scarlet doesn't like Stormhost all that much. But it's definitely the army she needs. So she's gotta get them. Lots of Vikings, once again. No Ravens on the field whatsoever. 2 armories being rebuilt by Juanito. And the gold is gonna go down uncontested. I mean, what do you do if you're Juan from here? What do you do, Rob from production? Sometimes you just gotta GG. I'm not quite sure what Juan can do. Sure, he's at 187 supply. Wow, what is this caster saying? He's one at 187 supply. Yeah, well, relax, bro. He's containing 3 bases, the problem. His gold is almost mined out, and he's taking 3 damage all over the place. This is a waste by Scarlet, by the way. One black for a second. Got it. And not a waste in the sense that it wasn't cost efficient, but in the sense that there's absolutely no need for it. So if Major reacts perfectly to it, if let's say this, Scarlet's in a position where she is pretty far ahead here. One of the only ways to let Major back in this is to take small risks like that over and over. Of course, if you do it once or twice, it's not gonna matter pretty much at all. But you know, if you dump minerals at your opponent and they react perfectly, then minerals and gas resources, what I meant to say. Then that'll put you behind. Basic mathematics. There's 2 Hellions, 3 Hellions, killing a lot of links, but Scarlet does not care for her links right now. The banks are not that different, but Major's already mined out from his main, mined out from his natural, almost mined out from his gold, which he's not mining anyway. So he's basically on one base with super gas for now, and that means that, yeah, his income's not very good. While Scarlet is gonna have the exact same income the entire game. And this is how StarCraft works. How StarCraft 2 works, kind of. It's, you know, if you're both on 3, if you're a Terran on 3 base and the Zerg is on a million base, you're still gonna have pretty much the same income. The problem is once the Terran starts getting mined out of the 3 base, well, that's the problem, right? So I think I just said the problem. I didn't need to expand on that, as I am continuing to do right now. But yeah, it's been a critique from some people to the game, but you know, it is what it is, and it's not necessarily bad. We see a bunch of shit dying down here, and that's as a result of one sending it down there. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's trying to make something happen, right? It's just not gonna happen. There's not much that he can do other than turtle into ravens. Again, this sounds silly, but the only coach that I would want if in this game would be a Velo. I would be like, I stand no chance unless a Velo tells me exactly what I need to be getting, how. And I'm pretty certain he would tell, like, I almost think I could make it up and come up with, like, but it would sound so silly that I would, like, have to get confirmation from him. It would be like, okay, make 20 turrets around your bases. I'm like, I have no economy. Just make 20 turrets around your bases. I'd be like, but what about me? No, just make them. So I would make the 20 turrets, which would have prevented this Muta attack already. Paid off for all of these Ravens and Vikings. And then I would be like, Lord of Illo, I understand. Ouch. I understood the concept. And then he would tell me a lot of stuff like that that makes him pretty much not die to stuff. And then he would be like, okay, now you're 100 supply behind, start making Ravens. That's cool. So that's gonna be 1-0 in favor of Scarlet. And we are gonna be jumping into game 2 pretty shortly after here, after this quick 90-second commercial break. So stay tuned.